Hi everyone, welcome to the 7-day graphics workshop where you're going to learn how to create stunning graphics for your shameless self-promotion of all of your businesses, messages, and for you. The whole invitation of this course is really bringing yourself to this message. And so this workshop, we're going to explore how to get ourselves into the frame so we can share with others the energy of who we are and draw them in to want to work with us or buy with us or whatever they're doing with us. But we want to be part of that secret sauce that is the key in this exploration. So we're going to do that by getting ourselves in the frame. So the tutorial today will be all about setup for your self-portrait. So this is the first step. So step one, grab your camera or your iPhone, and what we're going to do is we're going to stabilize it. So we are going to get our phone out of our hand. This is not a selfie, and we're not going to be in our car or other people. Let's take the time to learn how to take a great self-portrait so we can use this to really have something worthy of sharing in a graphics. Like your business deserves the time and the proper setup, so to say. Okay, so to stabilize your phone, I have a tripod. You don't need a tripod. Trust me, I use a tripod like 1% of the time, even though I have one. I'm really always just grabbing a stack of books and setting my phone on a windowsill or propping it up somehow. So don't feel like you need to have a tripod. And if you find it useful, if you do a lot of video for your business, and it would be helpful for you, then there's lots of great ones that have the specific iPhone or whatever your mobile phone is, all the setups specifically for that. So I do recommend it if you're doing a lot of video and you really want to fine tune it. But those are some options, is the makeshift tripod. And so another thing that you'll want to do is to use a self-timer. So this again allows us to have our hands in the shot. A lot of people might be using props or a special image or something that's relevant to your business and your message that you're sharing. And having your hands free allows you to have them be part of the shot, which really can add a sense of warmth and a relax. See, I'm just kind of moving my hands and just gives a little bit more natural feeling than, just holding the phone here and your whole body is not a part of it. So I feel like that's a big part of the energy of a shot. And so speaking of energy, what's going to be one of the hugest considerations is what are the elements that you're bringing to this that are part of your business and really just you. So this will be things like, will your shots have a more elegant feel or sophisticated? Or is your vibe more kind of playful and cheeky and sassy? Maybe you have a meditation or a yoga thing going on, and so maybe your vibe is a little bit calmer, and so in that case outdoor or whatever might be more relevant to what you're doing. So but the bottom line is just to really take that into the big picture as you're preparing for your shots. And even as far as what you're wearing, I would look it would look a little displaced if I was wearing something that I wasn't typically wearing. If I was wearing like a button down, some people will show up for a photo shoot with us and I'm like, why are you wearing that shirt? I've never seen you in a white Oxford shirt in your life and they were like, oh, well, I want it to look nice. So there's a difference between looking nice and really looking like you. So that's a whole other conversation. But just, you know, do what feels like you. The overriding theme for this workshop. Okay, so once you have your self-timer and your tripod set up, so all of the cameras have like a built-in self-timer, so you want to activate that again so you have the hands-free thing going on. And then there'll be a little bit of exploration of what your natural face is. And so are you one to smile in photos? Are you one to be more serious? Or just depending on, again, what the whole energy is of what you're doing. And it'll take a little bit of time to really let it sink in so it feels natural. Something to consider too is the background. And so I have a white backdrop here. I do have an in-home studio, so I love the white backdrop. And what's great about that is you can put it into nearly any sort of graphic app, which we'll be getting to later this week, and it fits in with a lot of it. So if I had a distracting background, then it would be harder to get it into some of the graphic design elements. And you don't need a studio, of course. You could use something like a sheet, or you could use a white poster board. That would be cool. Or look for different walls in your house. Like I have some gray walls and blue walls that I've begun to learn how to incorporate into just backdrops. And so you'll find areas in your house that really work, and considering the lighting too. And so there might be certain times of day that you notice in these places in your home that the lighting is really good. And so use that. We'll be editing our photos with a special app, and I'll share that with you tomorrow. So don't get too hung up on having perfect lighting, but if you're looking at it and you can see there's a big, you know, shadow or big glare, then not too much is going to be able to be done with that. If you have an iPhone and you open up the camera application and you tap on the screen, this allows you to focus, and if you hold on the screen and scroll up or down, it adjusts the lighting. So that can be a little bit of a helpful tip for you too. So other backgrounds that are cool are like brick or fences. And if you have, and so again, this isn't an iPhone specific class, but so many people have iPhones. Boy, that portrait mode on the iPhone, that allows great blurred backgrounds that make really, really great portraits. And so those are really the big things that I wanted to share with you in this tutorial, is setting up the shot with a tripod or whatever your stabilization thing is, using a self-timer, getting the energy of what you think that might be, actually taking a picture by using the self-timer, and don't forget to have fun. And there's a delete button on your phone if you haven't figured this out already. So it could take 100 million shots to, you know, really find those 5 pictures that you feel like you could use. And I'm just constantly adding to an ongoing library as, you know, as I'm inspired. So here's a tip too. Hands can make or break a photo. So if your hands are, you know, if the photo could look great, but if your hands are, you know, are pushing on your face, or your hands are just like cut off, or a body part's cut off, try to get a feel of what's in the frame and what it's doing. And again, this is something that you develop, and there's a little bit of skill that goes along with it. If you have more of your whole body in the frame, then I like to create shape with my body by just moving arms out to create a little bit of negative space. Is just a little quick tip. And then be aware that if you're leaning forward or whatever's closest to the camera is going to appear larger. So you know, if my shoulder's like way forward or something, it's going to have a enlarging effect. And we can talk about all sorts of tips as we go along, but those are some of the basics that will get you started today. So I hope you have a blast out there, and I'll see you in the frame.